The beginning of the year brought a fraught narrative to the biotech space. Both sides of the political aisle in Washington were against high and rising drug prices. Executives repeatedly got called out for rapid hikes and consumer-unfriendly tactics, and the healthcare reform debate threatened to upend much of what was going on in the industry, perhaps to firms' benefit, perhaps not, but with certain uncertainty. Healthcare reform is back in the news, but beyond that, biotech seems to be cruising ever higher. Drug price discussions have grown quieter, and M&A deals like Gilead Sciences' Guild purchase of Kite Pharma have put a charge in shares in the sector over recent weeks and months. All that said, news like Versatis VSAR trial failure is a reminder that each investment in the sector needs a great deal of study. Dr. Tran Biosci has been on Seeking Alpha as a contributor since 2013, and joined the marketplace this year with integrated Biosci investing. He shares the fruits of his study in the sector as he looks for investment opportunities. We asked him about some of the recent events mentioned above, as well as what he watches out for in making his investments and where the most interesting work is going on in the sector. Seeking Alpha: what do you see as the most promising opportunities in the biotech space for long-term investment? Dr. Tran Biosci, author of Integrated Biosci Investing: Facing the Patent Cliffs. More molecules are going generic, so their prices and profit margin will decrease substantially. In addition, there is increasing regulatory pressure to lower drug price. That creates a heightened demand for drugs, which can justifiably be sold at substantial premiums. And therapeutics servicing the orphan disease market fit this bill. Investing in stellar companies that are innovating medicine to service the orphan disease is most likely to pay off big in the long haul. So what is your approach to valuing biotech companies when it comes to valuation? How do you treat development stage, potentially pre-revenue companies versus more established companies with marketed products? Dr. Tran: established companies with marketed products are straightforward. For this type of firm, I employ comparative market analysis, along with other metrics such as price to earnings, price to sales, and/or price to cash flows. In contrast, valuing developmental stage firms requires out-of-the-box thinking. For these equities, I use the technique point valuation of the sum using the parts to assess the value of various drugs in development. I then estimate their peak sales using comparative market analysis and competitiveness factor. It's also important to factor in discounts such as opportunity costs, the 5% success rate, as well as other expenses like research, development, and sales. Of note, valuation can be a subjective exercise. The Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett, said that two analysts valuing the same company can come up with completely different figures. Therefore, I tend to leave ample of room for imprecision when it comes to valuing a firm. So, is there a particular stage at which you prefer to enter investments? For example, companies with products in their pipelines that have passed stage 2 trials and are moving to stage 3. If so, how have you come to this preference? Drive. Tran: investing in biotech can be lucrative as well as highly risky. This is mostly because only about 5% of molecules successfully pass through all the stages of development from bench research to marketing. Investing in phase 1 bench research molecules has the highest risk, as there isn't much data to base one's analysis. At this stage, the method that I employed over the years that had shown high accuracy is molecule analysis. Even when using the said technique, the degree of uncertainty remains high. That being said, I prefer to invest in firms with therapeutics in its phase 3 study, drugs that already demonstrated stellar phase 2 results. As a rule of thumb, molecules that pass their phase 2 with flying colors have much higher chances of success in their phase 3. Phase 2 is the smaller scale investigation in which a molecule that showed weak statistical significance can nevertheless pass the phase 3 trial, a larger scale human study of higher quality that increases the power to detect statistical significance. Conversely, if a molecule already demonstrated strong statistical significance in its phase 2 trial, there is no seeming reason it should not pass the phase 3. So how do you feel about small biotech companies with a single clinical asset, i.e., all their eggs in one basket? Dr. Tran: putting all eggs in one basket is extremely risky, as there is no other drug for a company to fall back on if the single molecule fails in its clinical study. For instance, Versatis tumbled by more than 80% in the after hours due to negative phase 3 data results. In contrast, the single molecule like cabozantinib of Exelixis NASDAQEXEL delivered robust outcomes, thus rewarding investors as much as 100-folds over the past few years. When purchasing a bioscience with only one asset, it is imperative to purchase a basket of stocks. This way, there is adequate diversification. Say if 5 companies failed, 3 perform on average, and 2 increase more than 10-folds, an investor can still achieve stellar results. So what red flags would cause you to avoid a particular biotech investment drive? For bioscience investing, the trial data reporting of a small firm with only a few molecules can be the binary make-or-break event. If the molecule analysis shows that the science is not sound, chances are the outcome reporting will be negative. And it is not a matter of if but when the company will falter. The other red flags are when capital spending is excessive to the point that the firm has to incur gargantuan debts as well as to become a serial diluter. In addition, stocks that are heavily promoted yet the underlying science is not sound are equities that it avoid. So how important do you think management is to a biotech's success? Do you place much importance on C-suite executives' past successes or failures at other companies' drive? Despite that past performance cannot guarantee future success, the executives' track records can give clues to their ability to deliver. Even a firm that has yet to hold a blockbuster can, however, achieve outstanding results if the management has the drive and insight to outperform. For instance, they can terminate costly development programs that are unlikely to post positive data results or ones which are unlikely to generate meaningful sales. Meanwhile, they can in-license other molecules to enrich the existing pipeline. So in the wake of the Kite Pharma acquisition, do you see more M&A activity ahead for Gilead Sciences in the near to medium term? How would you describe the state of biotech industry M&A in general drive? Gilead's anti-hepatitis drugs Sovaldi and Harvoni demonstrate stellar efficacy and safety. Those drugs deliver cures, which is great for patients. However, the drawback is that they cannibalize their own market and subsequently sales. Regarding the buyout of Kite Pharma, the leader in chimeric antigen receptor cells receptor, or CAR-TCR. In short, the acquisition gave Gilead a powerful drug development platform being managed by stellar management. And yet, Gilead is an excellent firm that is not settled for past success. Therefore, it is highly likely that the company will continue to search for other stellar molecules that can deliver growth synergy. Gilead aside, I expect other firms to continue searching for stellar drugs to fill the increasing growth demand. So what appeals to you about orphan drug companies like Protalix Biotherapeutics NYSEPLX Drive? Orphan drugs, medicines that treat rare conditions like lysosomal storage disease, are quite appealing due to their justifiable premium pricing. Such diseases affect fewer than 200,000 patients nationwide and there aren't many treatment options available. With the low success rate and the arduously long process of drug innovation, it is prudent that such efforts should be rewarded with premium pricing as it fosters therapeutic development for patients facing seemingly hopeless situations. So as the field of immuno-oncology takes off, what differentiators do you see among the many companies with a stake in this space? Dr. Tran, immuno-oncology is a highly exciting field with key potential breakthroughs. For instance, CAR-TCR, an individualized medicine seeking to give a boost to the T-cells, the general of the body defense system, so that they can better detect and destroy cancer cells, can be the potential breakthrough for cancer treatment since the introduction of chemotherapy more than half a century ago. Based on the latest data, Kite Pharma CAR-TCR has the best chances of success. By partnering with Alpine Immune Science NASDAQALPN for its technology transmembrane immunomodulatory protein, Kite significantly increases the chances of success for CAR-TCR. So what's one idea you feel strongly about in the biotech space, and what's the story? Dr. Tran, Alpine Immune Science is a firm focusing on the immuno-oncology and autoimmune inflammatory markets. The firm has 2 key technology platforms that strongly enhance the chances of its therapeutic success: variant immunoglobulin domain VIGD and transmembrane immunomodulatory protein tip. As small injectable molecules, these can bind to multiple targets in the immune synapse with high versatility to either activate or inhibit the immune system components for desired therapeutic effects. This ability to regulate the body's fighting system can be leveraged to treat various autoimmune diseases, conditions in which the body mistakenly attacks itself. Moreover, the ability to activate the immune system improves the efficacy of cancer drugs. In contrast to VIGD, TIP is expressed on engineered T-cells ETCs, those that have the CAR-TCR gene modification to enhance their function. Hence, TIP augments etc. Therapeutics' ability to harness the power of the T-cells to direct the combating of diseases like cancer. Valuation-wise, Alpine has $90 million in cash. And yet, the company is on sale for roughly $158 million, only 1.7x its cash value. Last but not least, it is far from the truth that the firm is a prime target for acquisition. Thanks to Dr. Tran Biosci for joining the round table. You can read more of his work here, and if you're interested in the intricacies of biotech investing and want to invest alongside the medical doctor and market expert, consider a subscription to Integrated Biosci Investing. To stay up to date on all things marketplace, please click the follow button above or below this article. We're picking up steam as we head into fall, and we expect a fabulous finale in Q4. Disclosure: IWE have no positions in any stocks mentioned, and no plans to initiate any positions within the next 72 hours. I wrote this article myself, and it expresses my own opinions. I am not receiving compensation for it other than from seeking alpha. I have no business relationship with any company whose stock is mentioned in this article. Editors note: this article covers one or more stocks trading at less than $1 per share and/or with less than a $100 million market cap. Please be aware of the risks associated with these stocks.